You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Days of Our Lives fans. We just wanted to drop in with this real quick that we have got some information on the weird credits for the soap opera Body and Soul that just aired on the most recent episode of Days of Our Lives. If you haven't seen it, Body and Soul is this soap within a soap that they're showing on Days of Our Lives while Abe Carver has been kidnapped and is being held in the apartment of crazy cat lady Whitley King, and she has got him watching this soap opera that she has on VCR tapes. A lot of people watch this soap. Apparently, it's very popular in Salem. It's kind of very meta because it's a soap within a soap. The look of it has the feel of the campy, almost 80s primetime soaps like Dynasty. And so as Abe was watching the most recent episode, he saw a very familiar face and it freaked him out. We're going to talk about that more in just a second and explain these credits to you that were so weird. But first, if you haven't already, reach down, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our Days of Our Lives updates, news, and spoilers. So Abe sees who he thinks is Theo Carver. Of course, it's not Theo Carver. It is Jerry Prentiss, who is an actor who is pretending to be Theo Carver because Whitley is making him, because he helped out, I don't know, his mom or his grandmother with some kind of medical emergency, and she helped them get life-saving treatment. So Jerry is at her beck and call, and he is lying and pretending to be Theo. And apparently, Jerry had a small role on Body and Soul, and he had this scene with Lorna Coslow's character, and then he shows up, and Abe is like, whoa, Theo, and then he waits for the end of the show, and he looks through the credits. So we're going to go through these credits real quick because they are callbacks. They're these Easter eggs to other soap roles. Now, we're going to tell you what we found out. I'm sure there's a lot more nuance to this and a lot more inside jokes in the writer's room, but we're going to tell you the more obvious ones that we picked up on. So Jerry Prentiss's character on Body and Soul is Randy Jones. And if you just look up Randy Jones, that's a relatively common name, but just off the top of our heads, it is also the cowboy from the Village People. So maybe that's where they were going because that's, you know, the famous gay anthem, and it's a whole lot of fun. And that was the credit that Abe was really interested to see because he wanted to know who that guy's name was, who he believes to be Theo Carver, and of course it is Jerry Prentiss. This was the least sensational of the end credits they showed for Body and Soul. They had another one that was Margot Lindley as Lorna DeLorean. And Lorna DeLorean is the character that Lorna Coslow is playing on Body and Soul. And of course, Lorna Coslow is the Kate Roberts actress. But Margot Lindley is a character that Lorna Coslow played over on Bold and the Beautiful. Her name was Margot McLean Lindley, I believe. So that was a nice throwback to her. And then, if you remember that character, Thrust, that they were talking about, I had commented that I didn't even know how Mary Beth Evans was saying that with a straight face. The character's full name is Thrust Manning. And breaking down that name, well, Thrust is just dirty. And Manning is a surname that was very prominent on One Life to Live. And Ron Carlivati was a writer on One Life to Live before he went to General Hospital and before he then went to Days of Our Lives, where he remains now. Tucker McCall is the actor playing Thrust Manning. If you recognize the name Tucker McCall, then you also watch Young and the Restless. Stephen Nichols, who plays Patch, was over on Young and the Restless, and he played this character, Tucker McCall, who was this rogue years ago. So that was a fun callback. The next one is Catherine Bell as Cassandra Loved. And Catherine Bell was a character from General Hospital that Mary Beth Evans played. And Cassandra Loved, I don't know where they got that name from. There is someone named Cassandra Love who is this clothing designer who makes these niche, real weird kind of costumey sort of outfits. But what's also interesting, Catherine Bell on General Hospital was romantically involved with Stephen Cassadine, who was played by Stephen Nichols. So right now, Stephen Nichols and Mary Beth Evans are on Days of Our Lives in a romantic relationship as Patch and Kayla, but they were also a super couple over on General Hospital as Catherine and Stefan. So that's kind of interesting. All right, the next credit was Jesse Witherspoon as Charlemagne de la Crosse. Charlemagne de la Crosse may be a reference to this weird thing called the Cross of Charlemagne. It's this old history thing, or it might be some other tongue-in-cheek reference the writers were going for. But the bottom line is Jesse Witherspoon is the character, Charlemagne de la Crosse is the character Deidre Hall was playing on this Body and Soul soap. Meanwhile, Jesse Witherspoon is a character that Deidre Hall played on the show Our House back in the 80s. So that's a fun little callback too. Last, we have Brian McFadden as Rhett O'Hara. I want to talk first about the character name, Rhett O'Hara. Either they were going for a Gone with the Wind mashup of Rhett Butler and Scarlett O'Hara, or it is a reference to Rhett O'Hara, who is a gay adult film star. So that's kind of interesting, or maybe they were going for both. I don't know. It was pretty funny. Brian McFadden was Drake Hogestyn's character over on Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, which was a series in the early 80s. So there's just so much to unpack with these credits, and it's so cute and it's so meta. I'm sure there were more references that we missed, but these are the ones that jumped out at us, and we really enjoyed this. Hey, if you haven't already, please reach down, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our Days of Our Lives updates. If you enjoyed this little tidbit about those end credits for Body and Soul, please click a like on that video. And let us know if you're enjoying seeing these body and soul scenes on Days of Our Lives and if you would like to see more of them.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.